Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Bulldogs Sports Network special Bulldogs preseason show. I'm Bret, Swinney, alongside Corey Marshall and Vincent Johnson. Guys, y'all ready to talk some Bulldog football?
Always.
Sure.
All right. So, where do y'all want to start? You want to talk about last season, expectations this season?
I'm excited just in general. We finally getting a chance to get a full, I won't say post COVID, but it feels more of like a actual season. And
Yeah.
we've had a lot of we had an off season, 7-on-7 and lineman challenge, and they've implemented the off season program, and I'm anxious to see how everything looks going forward because we finished 8-3 last year.
8-5 was
8-5
the
last
finisher
year.
record.
8-5.
Just 5-5 record regular season, or 5-4 because we had one game less, and so we got in the playoffs, made a little run, 1-3.
Good. It was a great run. That was great.
Yeah, it was a great run.
Mm-hmm.
Unexpected run. Not unexpected for the coaches and us homers, but as far as statewide, unexpected. So now expectations are a lot higher this year after seeing
most definitely
this turning. So I just want to give a couple of shout-outs. So we've got Bulldogs special Dave Campbell's Texas High School Football Magazine. They still have I saw them today in the athletic office. So go get your $10, go get your Bulldogs, and go buy one. We're going to talk about some of the things in this magazine. We got comment. Rollins. Hey, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
Yes, hello,
What's
friends.
up, Rob?
Good to see y'all back at it another season. Thanks. And that's also another thing. If you got some chats, out there, we'll get to your comments or questions on here. If y'all wanted to drop some lines, it's good to hear from Rob. So, I guess starting at the beginning of the season, this is the first game coming up. Play Greenville this week. 5A Greenville. It's about an hour and a half, hour and a drive. Have that game this week. I've just created the event. We'll have it on the Bulldog Sports Network. It'll be on YouTube, all our normal same platform you're watching here. Corey, Vince, y'all got any comments or anything about this week's game?
I mean, Greenville is traditionally they've been pretty good, so I was surprised that we were playing them. I don't think we've ever played them before that I can remember.
Well, and that's another thing I mentioned too.
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, the schedule is kind of wacko because of COVID. We had to rearrange the schedule. 5A started later, so these three first games are just ones I think we had to find because they're totally different than last year. Usually, you go home and home with an opponent, just flip flop the schedule. So as last year, we played Kaufman. We played. Who else did we play? We played.
Played Terrell.
First three.
Played Kaufman, Terrell.
Terrell. Yeah, we played Terrell and one other team.
I had it pulled up, but I'm on my
White
phone
House.
now, so I can't see it.
Yeah, I can't remember that 13. Anyway, the first. Well, we were supposed to play White House. We didn't play it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We couldn't. We had to play 4 days and down. We that was one of the changes with the schedule. So, basically, this year it's a totally had to re-get games. Usually, every 2 years you get your schedule. So I think we play center again. Crandall, there you go, Mr. Hewitt. A shout out to Mr. Hewitt. He should know. There it is. There's the answer to our question. Thank you, Mr. Hewitt. He's at every game. Love the band. Band is awesome. Corey, I think you remember that band.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love the band.
Yeah. So
always
so our schedule, we played 3 teams kind of in the towards the Dallas area, I guess you'd say. And so this year is completely different. We start out with Greenville, Then we play Livingston, which is way south. We play them at a neutral site at SFA. And then the third game is – who was the third game?
Third game is Hallsville.
Hallsville, which is not too far. They're a former district rival. I don't know about what – I think when I was in school, they were in our district. I don't know if that was the same with y'all. So that's an interesting thing with the schedule. Just tidbit on the schedule. It's a little different this year. So
I like the Greenville game. I'm just kind of doing some research on it. Like traditionally, they've always had a pretty good district with the Ennis. They play Ennis, and now they got the 380 corridor games and stuff like that. I mean, Greenville's going to be a pretty good team. I mean, they got a lot of returning starters coming back, and I like the team.
Yeah,
I like Greenville, but I like that matchup. It's a different one for us.
Yeah, they've got 5 and 7 returning on each side of the ball, so they've got a good number coming back. Yeah. They're picked 4th by Dave Campbell in their district. That's 5A, a 5A playoff team. So it's a good challenge. They got Ennis, North Forney, Roy City, also picked in that district with Crandall, Corsicana. Kaufman is not in their district. It's Forney, Sulphur Springs, Crandall, Corsicana, Greenville, Roy City, North Forney, and Ennis.
That's a tough district.
That is a tough, and to be picked 4th.
It is.
Yeah, that's a tough district.
All right, we're gonna give a little chat from Mr. Hewitt. He said he'll be watching Friday night. This band director is gonna miss his first game in 20 years. Oh, I hate to hear that.
Oh, wow.
We'll just have the game for you.
Whatever you do, mute it at halftime. You know what?
Hey, and we'll even have the band on, Mr. Hewitt, so we'll have it for you at halftime. Chris Williams says, who is our QB1? Chris, that's going to be Tyler Jones. We saw a little bit of Tyler last year. He played in some spurts in relief. I believe he played in the center game that Ford got hurt. I believe he got hurt. He didn't come back the second half. I believe Tyler played the second half of that game and some other spurts. He also was he's got some experience. Very athletic. Is part of that very talented junior class that we'll talk about quite frequently. But he was also the punter. So I'm assuming he'll probably punt again. So that could be an interesting dynamic, having your quarterback punt, for some trick play action there possibly. So anyway.
I know you mentioned Livingston. I know you're getting to Livingston. I'm very interested in that game. That's a game I know is out of our region. We don't normally play that far south. So it's going to be an interesting game to watch. I know we beat them in the playoffs this past year. Livingston's they're pretty athletic. Like those kids out of that region, that area, they're always good, always athletic. And they're almost similar to us as far as how the fabric of their team is made. Quick, speed, athletic. So, I mean, that's going to be a good game.
Well, I'll give you a quick tidbit on Livingston. Okay, so they are in District 10 4A, which is directly below our 9 4A. And they're picked second in their district. So it will be a good challenge. That's the 4A Division 1, very similar. And it's a possible playoff opponent. We could see them again down the road. So I think it's a very good measuring stick early. I know Greenville's 5A and they're picked in their district, but this would be a 4A Division 1 opponent that's picked to make the playoffs. So
it's a revenge game. They're coming back.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a very They're also in that same district with Splendora, who we played last year. In that area. So, I think we ran it. Did we play? Was it Huffman Hargrave? Did we play last year in the playoffs?
I'm trying to pull up last year's.
I don't think we played Huffman Hargrave. We may have played Huffman Hargrave. I don't think we did.
I feel like we played somebody in that district. I should have that pulled up. I don't remember.
I know Splendora. I know Huffman.
Anybody out there that's listening, you feel free to help us out there. I feel like we did, but I don't.
It wasn't New Caney.
I don't think it was New Caney.
We played in New Caney. I'm sorry, we played in New Caney.
Yeah, we played in that nice stadium a couple times.
We played in New Caney. Pandora. What else is on the list? We got Hallsville.
Yeah, Hall's with the next game. They're also another 5A opponent, which is another tough one.
Yeah, I think
I
our
like it.
schedule is pretty. I don't want to say it's a hard schedule, but it's going to challenge us.
I wouldn't say it's hard. I would say the one from 2 years ago was hard.
Don't do that.
Carthage.
Don't bring that up. I
Was
don't
that
want to remember that.
who else we play? We played like
we played
4
Argyle.
teams ranked
We
in the
played
top
Argyle.
5. Argyle, yes. I went to the Argyle game. That was
I never want to hear that name again.
But you know
Never
what?
want to hear
That's
that name
awful.
again.
And no, that we played Pleasant Grove.
No, it
that
ain't
year as
never.
well.
That's the problem. It ain't never. You have nightmares about that game, man. Like just
Pleasant Grove as well was also one of the teams.
That's it.
Yeah. Pleasant Grove. So, just a short plug here. We've got our new Bulldog Sports Networks hats available for sale for $15. So reach out if you like one. We've got several in stock. We can get more. So they're a nice quality hat, and very nice if you like the Richardson style. I think it's the 112 Richardson styles ones we have, and so reach out if you'd like to purchase a hat. I think I got you. Did I get you a hat, Vince? I think I got you one already.
Yeah, you actually did. I should probably have that right now.
Yeah, you should. I got to get Corey.
I always
his.
sport my Texan stuff, man. I always
see
do.
you with the Texan on. I see
but
it.
you know,
Man,
bro, even though we struggling, I'm always holding them up.
I'm on no comment. I'm on no comment on that Texans comment. I'm just going to no comment.
I'm not a fair weather fan, man. I stay with them.
That's for another conversation. We don't have enough time to talk about that.
No, not tonight. No.
So after that, the game I'm interested in, and these are all great preseason games. So the game I'm interested in is the Center game.
Absolutely.
Center.
Okay.
I have lots of memories of Center. I remember us trying to stream the game, holding my cell phone up, trying to get internet out of the press box last year. And between having trouble with the internet and having trouble stopping their little running back that ran for like 250 yards or some crazy amount. Now, I know he's gone, but some of those guys aren't going to forget that on this Chapel Hill team. And so you got to think that they're going to come out extra hungry in that one.
Yep. And they also have a Chapel Hill tie. They hired former Coach Meek's son, Ricky Meeks, is the new head coach at Center.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
So it's gonna be it's gonna be a nice little tie there. So I think it's a home game, isn't
it? Yes, that will be our first home game of the season officially.
Yeah, we own one. I don't forget. We own one.
No, that'll be a good one. I have a feeling that you won't be the only one thinking that.
No.
They'll be ready for that one. If there's any preseason game that they'll be ready for, it'll be that one for sure.
They should be.
I believe it's homecoming as well.
Whew.
So
listen, we're going to step up. Yeah, that's going to be a serious game, man.
I always remember this, and I make this reference. We played. Of course, I went to Sam Houston State, and we had one game to make it to like the conference championship game. And I remember we lost to SFA at Sam Houston, and one of the players they had his jersey up. And I remember one of the PR people took a picture of it. And before the game, to make it to the conference tournament, to the conference championship game, they had the picture of him holding up the SFA jersey, and he put a picture on each locker. And so so every time you walked into the locker room, that picture of that guy holding up his SFA jersey was all over the lockers. And it was kind of like a visual thing. So I don't know if they do that, holding up the center scoreboard or something like that, but that's something to. And of course, we ended up beating SFA. I think that was the most we ever beat them by, but we demolished them that game. But hey, it worked. So maybe they get pissed off and have some kind of memorabilia, something up there like that. I hope so, because there's nothing like a revenge game.
Yeah. Well, that leads us into district play. So before we start talking about it, I have my Chapel Hill Dave Campbell's magazine here, and I'm just going to just read over the district predictions for Dave Campbell's. I'm just going to let y'all see what y'all's thoughts are on it. Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to start off with the bottom. We're going to at 7th. It's going to be Maybank. 6th, Athens. 5, Henderson. 4, Palestine. 3, Chapel Hill. 2, Kilgore, and 1, Lindale. Thoughts? What sticks out?
Wait, hold on.
Henderson's low. Henderson's very low.
We were under
Lindale.
We were under Lindale and Kilgore.
And Kilgore. Right. So we're picked 3rd.
Kilgore is always, man, I don't know what they do with them kids down there, but man, they've always been like, ever since we were little, they were big. They were always big guys, man. Like some of these dudes look like they were college players already. So much respect to Kilgore, much respect, because they are always a tough team. Lindale last year was when they had that tailback, I believe. Yeah. That was
yeah.
I don't want to get his name wrong. Is his last name Jacobs, like Ja'Cory Jacobs or something like that? I don't remember his name exactly, but he was something special.
Yeah, he's going.
I got to see that again. You know, like I feel like if you take him from, listen, Lindale gave us some business last year. I'm not gonna lie, because that guy was something special. But I feel like if we could have neutralized the run game, it would have been more of a game. So I feel like we got a chance to compete with them. I don't know. I could just be saying it because I'm Chapel Hill. You know, I'm Chapel Hill to the fullest. But I feel like we can compete with them.
The good news is he is not going to be in Lindale uniform this year. He'll be in.
He won't.
Waco. He'll be in Waco.
Yeah, he'll be in Baylor.
The good news is we don't have to. We don't have to play the guys. And also, the good news is we have a lot of guys back. A lot of really skilled position players now.
Yeah.
My only question is at the beginning of the season, and we'll talk about it a lot this year, is Tyler Jones. I think he can do it. I think he can. But if he can just manage the game this year, like he doesn't have to do anything spectacular. I mean, make a play here and there, but if he gets it to his receivers and his running backs, he's gonna do well.
You know, I'm not, and I won't disagree with that. You know, like I alluded to at the beginning, you know, we had an off season this year, so we had a lot of time to bond with the wide receivers, and we did very well in 7-on-7. And we got a state qualifier, and we finished with the top 5. So, I mean, that's an indicator of how well, you know, the offense is going to click, especially with your wide receivers. So speed kills, and just the district there. I mean, how can you match up against our wide receivers on the end?
I mean, they can go 4 wide with Watkins, Berry, McFoy, and Deuce. What team that we're going to play has that kind of talent at receiver? And that's not to mention J.K. Davis. J.K. Davis in the backfield.
Oh yeah.
I mean, no disrespect to Tyler Jones. I think he's going to grow into a great quarterback, and he may this year. But he doesn't have to do a whole lot. I mean, I could probably go out there and toss it over to McFoy and McGregor and these guys, and they're gonna make something happen. So
yeah,
I think having a little bit of threat at quarterback is going to help them too, because I know Jones is a great athlete, and I haven't seen him throw in person very much, so I can't verify on that, like where he's at with his accuracy wise and ability to throw. But I know he's fast. I've seen him run the basketball court, and so that's that right there. If they know he can take off with it, then they're not just going to be able to, you know, cover back. You know, if you play deep zone, try to double some guys, that's going to leave that run game open.
I honestly believe right now, to be honest with you, this may be one of our best chances to win a district title. And I'm not being cocky. It's just I think we'll fly under the radar. That the preseason games, the measuring stick for me, to be honest with you, and it's early. We may get a bump, but that center game is the game that I really want to see us how we respond, because I'm looking on the schedule, games that I would probably see us that kind of would raise the hair on your back a little bit, maybe Center and Lindale. Those games should be circled automatically. Like, no matter what, we can bring an A game for that.
And one
we play
one thing
early.
one thing to notice, Corey, is what I've noticed here is our big games looks like in district are on the road.
Yeah.
If we go to Lindale, we go to Kilgore, we go to Henderson. Have y'all seen the new Henderson field since they upgraded it?
Oh, yeah, I've seen
it's
it.
It's like a college stadium. It's super nice. I mean, it's flashy. That's right.
We felt like we were in a Netflix original. Yeah.
So I mean, so those are, and Henderson. I mean, they're picked 5, but they're no slouch. I know they got a new head coach, and so they may have some changing of some schemes and stuff like that. I don't know what kind of scheme they're going to bring in, but the coaching. Yeah, well, and they gave us trouble last year. We didn't think they would. That was one of those games last year. Yeah, we thought, we'll beat Palestine. That's not a problem.
That's a playoff team.
Yeah, and that didn't happen.
Well,
Palestine's not bad.
We talk a lot, Brett. We up in the booth a lot of times and we talk. And I think for me, one of the biggest things that I usually always preach about and what I was hoping to see was adjustments. We always talk about that. Yeah, first half of a game, team will come out, they'll knock you in the mouth, but you got to be able to make the adjustments. And I think earlier in the season, we wasn't maybe making the right. I don't even know if I could say like the right adjustments, but it just felt like we were trying to stick to a strict game plan that most of our opponents at one point had kind of figured out. And in mid-season, we made this change where it seemed like what you saw from us the first half of every game was never how we finished. And that shocked a lot of the people we played, which, like you said, like we had an unexpected season, because if people remember like the way it started, it didn't look like the way it finished. We got stronger every week.
Well, I think kind of to speak to that, Vince, I think that really says a lot about Coach Reardon and his staff. Like, in the past, we've just come out to play and we've just done the same old thing every time. Hand the ball off left, hand the ball left, right, and there never were adjustments made.
Yeah.
And I think we took that rough 2-8 season, but a lot of that was our schedule, and then trying to get used to coaches game plan. And so as these kids have been in the system, now this is going to be year 3. He's had 3 years with this junior group. And so now you're going to start seeing things are just going to be second nature. They'll be able to know more what coach expects, adjustments on the fly. A lot of things like they weren't able to, the start of the year last year even.
The offense has been implemented, expectations. You have, year 3 is that ironing out year, basically. This is when
you iron out
year
kinks
4. Like, this is it. Like, this is when all of your game plan, your system, your metaphors, your philosophies, everything is well ingrained. So this is going to be a big year, for the coaches. I feel like it's going to be a big year. I'm excited. I'm not like just rah excited, but I'm very excited to see how it goes, because I want them to be successful, and I really feel like that. I think this is kind of going to be one of those special years. I feel that way.
Yeah, I think that the way, like I said, the way we kind of turn things around around mid-season or so, and how we finished, it made me more excited just because I could see the adjustments being made. And like I said, we talk about those things, and so I was really excited because it wasn't just about us winning. It was about not going out there, like you said, like just going through the motions, the same thing over and over again. And I would expect that this coming season is going to be a big year for us, because if we could come in with that same mentality, okay, if this didn't work, let's move on to something else. If we could come in like that, I don't see too many people being able to. I don't want to say keep up with us, but I think, especially offensively, we might be one of the better teams in our district. And
Yeah.
I think that with making adjustments on the fly and stuff like that at halftime and things like that, those are the components you need to win ball games. You know, and I think we're gonna get a lot of ball games. I think we're gonna win a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the most excited I've been for us probably since, I would say, the year we
2011.
lost. The year
2011.
right we lost. The year right we lost state. Okay. The expectations are really high. I don't have that expectation. Okay. I'm not saying this team
Yeah,
can't do it, but I'm not like that year. I was
that was a special
expecting
year.
that was
You
a
could
state.
just you
That was
could
a state or
tell.
bust year.
Yeah,
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 that was a special. And shout out
and
to Logan. Shout out to Logan for the special he's got going on with the state championship football
Yeah,
team.
yeah. If you
yeah,
haven't checked it
yeah.
out, any of our listeners out there that haven't checked out Logan's podcast he's got going, it's awesome. We have it on our page, so go in there and like it. The Cardiac Pack podcast.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
it's a good one.
Should be coming out with episode 3 here in the next week or so. So just watch it for that. If you
Okay.
hadn't caught the first 2, make sure you catch up. Yeah, it's awesome. Logan's doing a great job with that. Logan's going to be on the call for Friday night's game, so we've got him full time this year. It's awesome to have him. He's back working at the school, so he will be around here on the Bulldogs Network. So shout out to Logan. But yeah, I think this is definitely the most exciting season
Yeah,
that I've had, since that season. Now we
yeah.
did pretty well a couple of years later in 2013. I can remember that year thinking we had a chance to go pretty far until Joseph Clark was injured. I was at that game when he hurt his knee. I think you might have. I think that was that Henderson when you came with me. I think you were with me in that game.
Yeah, that was.
And he got
that was.
And he got hit, and he did not get up. And that kind of, not to say the whole team, but he played both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
Football. It's kind of deflated any momentum we had going that season, and we ended up still going pretty far, and then got handed to us against Kilgore in the freezing cold at Rosedale. And I can remember that game because we were all sitting by the heaters over there, or the Chapel Hill guys were all sitting by the heaters over there trying to stay warm, while Kilgore just run up and down the field on us, and it was ugly. I don't remember the score, but it was pretty ugly.
So we got to win on a high note. We got to win on a high note.
Yeah.
I'm
right,
more like that.
All right, so let's talk district games here. We got Athens. I think all of us here would probably agree. At home, Athens, we should take care of that one. Shouldn't be any issues.
okay.
The next one's Lindale, and I hate playing in Lindale. I don't know what it is.
Nah, I don't hate it. I want that game so bad.
I'm not saying the referees cheat, but man, we go to Lindale, we don't get any calls. I mean, it's like the ref doesn't see anything on our side. I don't know what
last year it didn't matter. That kid controlled.
Just talk past experience in Lindale.
Yeah,
it seems like
we've always
the call.
had bad games in Lindale. Like every as long as I can remember, it's never been. To be honest with you, the past 10 years, I don't recall Lindale coming to Chapel Hill in almost 20 years. I can't remember the last time they came to Chapel Hill.
That'd be last year.
Yeah, they came last year.
I didn't go.
They came and
Yeah.
they came and
Oh
beat
yeah,
us and
yeah.
left.
It was COVID season, so it was a rough time. That was a rough time.
So they had an easy time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't miss a whole lot. That kid
Now I
ran
can
for
remember.
300-400.
I can remember the Glendale game. We played them. I think it was the year either we won state or before state. I can't remember, but we played in Glendale.
I remember that.
And like you couldn't get a seat. Like I sat in front of the stands on the concrete because it was packed. There wasn't any place to sit. It was insane. I've never seen that many people at a football game, like a regular game like that. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like it was like everybody was there.
It's crazy. Like to me, I feel like White House has always been Chapel Hill's rival, but I guess here recently, it really just feels like Glendale is becoming that rival to me. A little bit.
A rivalry, Vince, is when two teams compete and it's a good rivalry. Like White House, I'm sorry, but White House has kicked their tail. Like I think the only year we beat White House in the past 10 years is the year we won state.
And how many state championships do they have?
They don't have any. But I'm just saying the rivalry aspect is kind of going away. Now I'm not saying
leave it to Corey. Leave it to Corey for the shade.
Hey, I want to beat White House.
How many championships does Lindale have?
Well, I don't like White House any more than y'all. I'm just saying as far as lately, like since my freshman year,
and I'm really
like we had never lost to White House. My freshman year in football, we lost to White House, and it's been like they've just been killing us. Now I don't know. I think a lot of it has to do with the size discrepancy. Now they have almost probably twice as many kids, so that helps them a lot. And if you think about it nowadays, it's all about coaching. If you can get a coach that can get a scheme together with what they've got, it's a lot different than it used to be. Used to just whoever has faster or bigger would just win.
Opponents, yeah. I mean, it's players.
I need to know the all-time record against each opponent because I still believe we're up on them like maybe 10 games.
Well, when you talk about that state year, the 2 years we were in state back-to-back, we beat them both years because we only lost one game, and that was to Henderson in those 2 years.
We lost to them.
We only lost one game the year we lost state.
Did you listen to the cardiac?
Wait, did we? Are you telling me that we lost to White House?
That was our only loss until we got to the state to Henderson.
Man, wait a minute. Hold on.
You need to go back. You need to go back and listen to Logan's podcast, and they'll tell you.
The year before,
I'm finna go get my T-shirt. Where my T-shirt say?
In 2010, we were 13-2. We did lose to White House that year because we lost against White House and Henderson. That was it.
We lost 2 games. Oh,
we blew out.
Man,
we blew out everybody else.
Well, you know,
it was a close
sometimes I block out some things that I don't like to remember.
White House loss.
Hey guys, if you're watching tonight and you have any questions, feel free to chat. We'll answer them. No, we hadn't gotten any in a while, so I just wanted to mention that again.
And fact check us too, because
somebody make me right. Somebody make me right. We beat White House.
No, I'm sorry, Vince. But,
in my head, we beat White House.
Again,
and until I win the championship, I'll still,
I'm telling you, if you would listen to that podcast, Vince, you would know.
I'm gonna listen to it.
So go check it out. Go check out Logan's podcast. Come on.
All right, I'm gonna check it out.
It blatantly says there's some good highlights. He's got clips in there in that game. I remembered it, but I need to refresh you. It will definitely tell you. So so we're at Lindale. I mean, I think we beat Lindale, but I think it's close. Too. I think it's a touchdown game. Could go either way, but I'm gonna take Chapel Hill in this one. I just think we've got too many weapons with too much speed. I know Lindale's got that little receiver back. I don't know if you remember him. He likes to move a lot. He goes in and goes pushing. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. What's his name? Lindale. Seekford. He's like a little West.
Yeah.
He's like a little West Wilbur type guy. likes to run around and have a lot of motion. Good receiver. Oh, there's your answer. Hector.
What,
Hector's
somebody?
listening. Thanks for listening.
13-2.
13-2 in the 2010 season, undefeated state year. Thanks for that, Hector.
Appreciate
Shout
that.
out to Hector. I just talked to Hector today. He's probably going to sponsor us this year. So he's out, and he's a former Chapel Hill graduate. And so he loved listening to our stuff last year. So he's going to be one of our sponsors this year. Thank you, Hector. We appreciate you.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, 13-2, Vince. 13-2. I don't know. I call this winning district. So
White House cannot have beaten us that many times, man. I'm sorry. I'm stuck on the White House thing. Let's do the.
Somebody
go look it up. Go look it up, Vince, and then for
No. I'm not thinking about that. I'm just saying, like, overall, like we were talking about, like.
I know. Bring it back.
White House has beat us.
The overall.
Yeah,
Chapel Hill versus.
That's what we'll talk about next time. How many times
the overall record
in the last decade? How many times have we lost the White House?
Probably 8.
Every time except once.
Maybe once.
I think.
In the last 20 years.
I think we beat them in like 2006, maybe. Maybe that's when we had like Chris Mass and that little group came through. I think we might have beat them once. I really think it's only been like twice in the last 20 years or something like that. It's not a whole lot.
At one point in time, I think I remember we had like an overall like 30-18 record against them or something like that. It was ridiculous. Like we owned them like for years, like 20 some odd years. We just owned them, and then all of a sudden.
Now I do remember when we were in school.
Don't talk about that, Vince. No, Vince. That just
we never.
We don't want to bring up the bad memories, Vince.
Yeah, it is.
Do we really want to talk about? I mean, I can bring back some great memories. There was like 4 years.
Good ones.
4 years I was in high school. We won a total of 5 games. That's 4 years, 5 games, an average of 1.25 wins a season. And I think three of those were my freshman year.
We had a lot of good players, a lot of transition. It was a lot of change, a lot of transition. But we had some great players, though. Very good. We
had great players. It wasn't the play.
The district was tough.
It was tough. We were in 4A stills before it was when 4A was like kind of the now 5A, and it was tough. I'm not gonna, but we had. It was rough. I mean, I went to those games. I still support those guys, and it was tough. I remember
Corsicana and all of them. Was
it Terrell? We played in the rain, and we went like in overtime, like. I don't remember how many overtimes it went into, and we missed the extra point to lose.
Yeah.
That was terrible. My goodness.
That was terrible.
I mean, terrible. Yeah. And I stayed for every second of it. I was probably one of like 20 people in the stands because it poured down. It was
raining.
It was before we got the turf, and it was like muddy as all get out there. And I just, whew.
We always finished those seasons with Terrell and Corsicana. Jacksonville, Terrell, and Corsicana.
I'm glad we did.
You think about that though. That's a tough one.
That was the McCowan days.
All right. So next game up is Palestine at home. So I'm thinking we got that one too. I'm thinking we beat them by 2 or 3 touchdowns. Pretty easily.
Pretty sound victory.
Yeah. I mean. They're bringing. Let's see. What are they bringing back? They're bringing back 3 offense or 8 on offense and 3 on defense. So
I just feel like that's a trap game. Like a game like that.
It could be.
A game like
it could be.
Especially if we perform well, we do well in Lindale, and we're kind of feeling ourselves a little bit. And you may have an inexperienced team, and a young-minded team that kind of want to coast a little bit. They just got a really good win on the road. And then you come back to the team that you're supposed to beat. And to me, that's another measuring stick game as far as, how you respond. How do you respond after a good win? Because like I said, I'm picking them winning district. I'm not being cocky. I'm being confident. I think this is that year that they want to come back and beat those teams that beat them. And you get over Center and Lindale, and then that Palestine game is a game that you got to worry about, especially if you win the game before.
Well, here's the thing, Corey. It's sandwiched in between Kilgore, and Lindale.
Yeah.
So you got Kilgore coming up on the road. You go to Lindale. Maybe you pull out the win there. You're looking ahead at, okay, Kilgore could be for the district title maybe. And then you can slip that Palestine game right in between there. It could be interesting. I mean, I think we'll take care of it, but it's definitely one you want to make sure that you don't overlook it.
You can't fall asleep in this district. You can't.
No.
You know,
No,
that's
not
what
at
I'm
all.
saying. Like, you don't want to just coast anywhere in this district at all, because Henderson could very well be a tough team.
A district where Henderson does not make the playoffs. That just shows how deep it is.
Or
Yeah.
don't compete.
Mm-hmm.
How many make playoffs out of this district? 2?
Four.
4?
Yeah.
We're in the age of everybody makes it, Vince. Let's let everybody in. You know how that goes. Back in the day, it was
participation trophy, but yeah, we'll throw in 14.
I'm not from this time. I'm not from this time. I'm from a time where there were winners and losers.
We would have made the playoffs. We would have made
winners
the playoffs
and
in
losers.
basketball.
We would have made
playoffs
playoffs all the time.
My junior year, if there'd have been this many teams in, and we had a really good team. Just got to talk to Silas a while ago. Yeah, Silas. Oh, Silas. Shout out to Silas, Corey's brother. I played basketball with him. We had a great team my junior year as well, but I believe we finished like third or fourth. I can't remember what it was. But I think only two. I think weak. Yeah. I mean, we only two teams made it then. So
yeah,
now everybody.
White House and Pine Tree made it.
We beat White House both times, and they went. Because we lost to Pine Tree in Pine Tree.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that's an important game. I think definitely Kilgore at Kilgore. I think that one's going to be tough. I think how the game plays out, I think is going to be important. If it's a run and gun game where a lot of touchdowns are being scored, I think we have the advantage. But I think if it's a slow down game with a lot of defense, I think that's the advantage to Kilgore, because Kilgore is going to come out with that I formation and going to run the ball down your throat. That's been the style they've had for years.
I wonder if they just change the jersey. I wonder if they do a different color. It's always red, black, and white.
I don't know.
Do what works.
Do what
works.
I mean, they've been so successful. Why change it, right? So
exactly.
I think that's the difference. It depends on the style. I think we've got too much speed, and I think we beat them by 2 touchdowns.
I think that game is going to be for the district.
Well, it could be at that point, because if we've already played Lindale and we beat them, then it's very well, because like the last 2 games are Maybank and Henderson for us. So I won't say that those are easy games, but the Kilgore and Lindale games, I think, in Palestine are probably going to be looks like the toughest. I think the Henderson game obviously it'll be important. It's the last one. It'll be kind of for seeding and all that, depending on how we sit at that point. But you would think the Maybank game is going to be the easiest game. You would think. I mean, I'm just going by just past experience with Maybank.
You would think so, but you never know.
Maybank used to be good
when they were in 3A. When they were 3A, when they were 3A. They moved up, because I think they're sitting on that edge. Let's see. They're at 986 as far as their enrollment goes, which
what's the enrollment? I know Lindale's probably like 100 kids over everybody.
Yeah, Lindale, the funny thing is Lindale always seems to know the cutoff number, and they're like always right below it seems like. I don't know how that works, but anyway, they're 1203 as far as enrollment goes. The next biggest team in our district is Kilgore with 1,095.
Really?
And then we're third at 1,042. So everybody else is below 1,000. But Maybank, well, Athens is actually the smallest enrollment number at 924. So
yeah, Athens is always around that 900 mark. I don't think I've ever seen them above 980.
Yeah, we stayed below 1,000 for the longest, or right at, but we've kind of creeped over a little bit. It'll be interesting to see with the realignment coming up, how that will work as far as with the COVID. People, doing homeschool, enrolling, moving around, like how that affects the alignment. I mean, this will be the first COVID era alignment, as you say. And it'll be interesting to see how it affects it. I don't know if it will or not, but it'll be interesting to see if it does.
Just an odd topic. I know it's not us. I find it very interesting that Huntsville is in the John Tyler district.
Oh, interesting.
That's
quite.
Of course, my family's from
Tyler High, Corey. Remember, Tyler High.
I'm sorry, Tyler High, whatever that school name is.
You confused me. I didn't know I didn't know this John Tyler you speak of.
But correct. Thank you for correcting me. But that is a long drive from Huntsville to Tyler. I used to make that drive quite often, but it's a long, boring drive. But I'm very interested. That's a weird district to me. But that's a long drive for those kids to make. That's a long drive. And Huntsville is not a pushover at all whatsoever.
We still love to have some questions as we're getting close to wrapping up here shortly. So get some questions in. We'd love to answer them. I'm having a lot of fun, guys. Hey, what do we want to do? You want to do this every week? Talk about the game a little bit? Y'all got time?
I got time.
Vince?
I always got time.
I mean, I think
you got a time machine. Of course, you got time.
Hey,
the time machine. They don't know. They have to go check out That's So Dope to understand what the time machine.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. Let's check out their podcast.
Absolutely, the time machine.
But yeah, I think we should try to do this after every game. I know we talked about it a little bit, and if everybody shows interest, send us questions. We can have them and answer them as we go on the chat. Oh, here we go. Hector's listening. He's got us a question, guys. What's your prediction for the overall record for this season?
I'm glad he asked because I was
no
about
losses.
to ask it.
No losses.
No losses.
No losses, Hector.
That's
no losses.
I mean, as far as the season, I think we could go 10-0. I don't think there's a
no losses.
Now say barring any COVID related losses. I don't hope.
Yeah, you always got to think about that.
I don't wish that on any team, any team. I want us to have a complete season and be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, barring that, I think we should be able to win all 10 games of the preseason. Now, going down the line any further, that just depends on how we're clicking at the end of the season. Now, if we can get in a good rhythm like we did last year, I think we can go 3-4 rounds deep. I don't know about all the ways. I mean, let's be honest, guys. This is a tough classification. Okay?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've got the talent, I think, to make a run. Corey, 8-2 district champ.
Who's the two?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We do an overall record prediction.
Just overall, I could. Okay, I mean, realistically speaking, if I would have, I would say I don't expect for us to lose more than 3 games. But I mean, I would with what we look like on paper, and I know that don't really matter, but it makes me feel like with the coaching we have that we could win every game we play this year, or at least in district. Now, like you said, once we get into the playoff games, there's no telling who we're gonna play.
Now, this may give y'all some help. Okay, so I've got the rankings, the preseason rankings for Class 4A Division 1. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
What is y'all's guess of where Chapel Hill, as we say, that's what is listed as Tyler Chapel.
Yeah.
Where do y'all think Dave Campbell's this preseason rankings has us ranked?
I would say 7-3.
No, I'm not talking about record.
Oh, you're talking not the record. Okay, I'm sorry. Where we're ranked?
I'm talking about what rank we are. What's y'all's guess? You already know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
You ruined the fun for it. Yeah.
Okay, so Vince, you haven't seen it.
This is only.
I haven't seen it, but now I know it's 12.
Well, okay.
Thanks, Corey.
So have you seen the whole list, Corey? So do you know the whole list? Do you know where our other teams in our district are rated?
I know Lindale's like top 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, Vince, what do you think Lindale is? If you were to guess, don't necessarily count that Corey's right, because I didn't say he was.
Well, I think it's Kilgore and Lindale's in the top 10. I think, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
You are correct on that, but where do you
because
think
I was
they
gonna
are?
say Kilgore and Lindell should be in the top 10. Lindell probably, based off the kind of season they had last year. Didn't they go to state? But they
Yes,
lost.
they did. They lost to
Okay.
Argyle. Remember that team?
Then I would probably say they're like 2 or 3 or something like that.
Okay. What about Kilgore?
Maybe 5 or 6.
So Lindell is ranked 8, and
8.
Kilgore is ranked 9.
Mm.
So let me just go down through who's
So
the list.
yeah, give me 1 through 7.
So you guess of who number 1 is?
Waco LaVega. No, I'm just playing.
They're number 5.
Yeah.
You're on the right track.
I don't know. Who.
I mean, who won the state last year? Your favorite school?
Oh,
My
God,
favorite
no.
school?
The high school cup champions. Your Argyle Eagles are number 1.
Man, don't talk to me. Don't
They can change
talk to me.
classification.
Oh man, that's a pro team.
Number 2 is Corpus Christi.
Corpus Christi. Okay.
Yeah.
Kelly.
Melissa number 3. El Campos 4. Waco La Vegas 5. Austin LJ is 6. Paris is 7. Liddell, Kilgore, Midlothian Heritage is 10. And then Cadell is 11. That's the ones that are ahead of us. So
Okay.
just looking at that list, I mean, there's some pretty good talent.
Yeah.
So
Some really good talent. But man, you know what? Like I've always been taught that, you still got to show up, and
True.
some of these teams, yeah, they tough, they bullies, they play bully ball, but sometimes they show up, they come in and they think they're going to push us over or push somebody over. I'm not going to say us in particular, but they think they're going to come in and push somebody over. That's how you get those upsets. Because they think they've already won the game in their head, before they ever played it, and they come out flat, thinking that they could just, go through the motions, and you get surprised by a team that nobody expected much of. So, to me, I feel like it's still possible to beat any of those teams, except for Argyle. Argyle is something else entirely different.
He needs one good game.
Yeah, I mean, I made my first trip to Argyle a couple of seasons ago that we played in Argyle. I rode with a couple of friends of mine that live around the corner from me, and it was something to see. Like, I mean, there had the stands were packed.
I said I wasn't going. I was like, I'm not going to that.
I know, and the stands were packed. All they talked about was the Cup champions. That's like the team that like wins. They have like a point system, I guess, and you win 20 points for winning state.
Too.
Oh yeah, they're good at baseball too. I think they have some major league prospects.
They're good at everything. Don't they recruit?
So here's Hector's prediction. We'll be playing Argyle at state.
I like Hector a lot. Hector, go on and say we're gonna win. Go on and tell him we're gonna win, Hector. Go on and tell him. Okay. They don't believe it. They ain't got no faith, Hector. Tell them we're gonna win state.
Okay. I never said we weren't gonna win.
Nah, I'm playing.
I said 10-0. We can win every game in the regular season, and then I think the postseason. I think a lot of it has to do with matchups. Who we end up with? Do we match up well against them? I
could not imagine if we did make it to state and we were playing Argyle. Man, that would just be, for me personally. I'd be like, man, like I don't know how I feel about this game. We're gonna win by a slim margin. Okay.
If we doing upsets, just might as well do an upset.
Here's the thing.
Let's do an upset, baby.
I think once season ends, we do a postseason show, and we look at the bracket and we just pick it all the way through. We all fill out a little bracket. We just pick it all out and see.
Yeah, we can do that.
Falls.
No bias.
No bias. I mean, if you're Vince, you think Argyle's going to win this season. Argyle. That's what it says.
No, I'm not saying Argyle's going to win. I just don't like to see them.
They might. I mean, they're good. There's no doubt. I mean, they were 16-0 last year.
They're really good.
Yeah,
They're a well-coached football
really
team.
good.
Well-coached
They're
football
really
team, basketball
They've got
program.
what
They're really solid.
they've got what you talk about. They've addition.
They're really
I mean,
good
it's
at
just like
execution too. Like they execute. Like I just saying I never not just talking about that game. When I saw them play, I'd never seen nobody seem to execute on every play like that. They understood the assignments and what each other was supposed to be doing.
Pleasant
And
Grove was that good.
yeah, Pleasant Grove was that
was that
good.
good.
And
Pleasant
I
Grove
remember,
was huge.
Yeah.
yes,
I mean, that's a lineman like NFL size lineman. I remember
yeah.
he even played us. I think one of them even played running back a few plays, and like the fullback, he just like knocked over our whole defensive line and went in. I mean, it was they in there.
They had
Yeah,
like
they
3
grow
D1
they grow
recruits.
NFL players out there in the woods. They grow them.
That's that whatever Texas High doesn't get, they'll just throw them to Pleasant Grove and they'll make whatever.
Yeah.
But
I do think though, and speaking of linemen, I think that's the key to our season. The defensive and offensive line on each side. I mean, I think
that's the key to winning in general.
If you look back at the States, we had a solid offensive line, a solid defensive line. They were not the same guys. You had 4 or 5 guys that played on each side.
Yeah.
They were always rested because that's the problem you run into. It's hard to find at this location you can get where you have 5 or 6 solid guys on offense and they're not playing defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if they can find some guys to fill that spot and are strong there, I think we can go as far as we can all the way. I mean, I think that's the key. We just haven't had that pass. Like last year, I feel like Cam Ford would go back to pass, and in 2 seconds he has to play it right in his lap.
Well, I've always been told that was the key to success. It's one in the trenches. That's what I was told all the time. Offensively and defensively. So you're right. I think when you got a good offensive line and a good defensive line, like the rest is kind of downhill. So
you don't have to have anybody impressive run the ball. You can knock a hole the size of a truck and just run through. Any Joe can do that. I think the year we won state, that was the one thing that didn't get injured. If you look back, all the injuries we had, special like your receivers, running back, all those guys got injured. Those healthy the whole year, and that's what carried it. I mean, it just stuck somebody in the backfield and let them run. Somebody else at back protect him. I mean, because that's not what got quarterback hurt. Avery Tynes did not get hurt from getting sacked. He was on a runway right around the end in Carthage where he just went the wrong way. And so that year, I remember Sir Calvin Wallace and that defensive line and several guys on the offensive line there several seasons. That's what won state was those guys. Really, the other guys, they just made us better.
Yeah,
put us together.
The thing is, and we talked about this on the basketball when we do the basketball thing. At any time in any sport, you have to make stops, and you got to have players that can make plays on offense, and you have to have players that can make stops on defense. And I think we have both. We're special on the offensive end. I think we can score. We have a lot of speed. I think that's an advantage. But in a game, it's won in the trenches. And then, can you make a stop in the fourth quarter? Can you make a stop when it matters? When the team is, have you on the ropes, maybe they're making a run. Do we have a special player that can make a big play? Those are things that you look for in championship teams. I don't, the coaching staff knows those guys I'm looking for who's going to step up because that's what you want. You want that unsung hero that's going to come up with a deflection on a play that can win the football game or comes up with a fumble or strip sack. Those are things you're looking for on a state championship team, and you got to find that. And Coach Ridden said it in an interview before, and he hit the nail on the head. He was talking about peaking, and you don't want to peak too early because if you peak too early, I don't want them to peak at the Hallsville game or the Center game. We're playing our best football then. That's a little too early. That's why I said 8-2 is a good measuring stick. I don't want to say we're young and experienced, but we're young-minded. So, you got a lot of young guys that had a lot of experience. They can play, sure, but when the game's on the line and you need guys to step up and make a play, or you need to stop. And I've said this many times, especially in basketball season too. We got to have guys that can make a stop. Can you stop the bleeding? Can you come up with a play? Especially to me, one of the hardest positions in defense would be a cornerback. Like I commend anybody that plays a corner. Like that's one of the hardest positions to play and cover. You have to defend somebody, and you have to have all your dexterities. Your awareness has to be on 1,000. And guys like that can make a play. I mean, if we had a shutdown corner, that's perfect. And those guys did well in 7-on-7, so I know they're working on that, and I'm excited for that too. So they've had a good offseason to implement a lot of that. You've had a good showing of who coaches can kind of trust in the before you put on pads and the guys that can make plays. So that's what I'm interested in to see. If guys are going to come up and make plays throughout the season, who's going to be that hero? Because all it takes is one guy.
Yeah. You got anything else? Mr. Game One, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready to play ball, man.
Let's see what we have. I mean, again, we'll have that broadcast live on the Bulldogs Network Friday night. It's a special 7 o'clock game time, so it's set your normal 7 o'clock in Greenville. So if you can't make the game, make sure you either watch it on our Facebook page, or we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. We actually have our own Twitch channel, so we're everywhere. So you can find us in any of those places. And we'll be back week then. We'll kind of talk about this week's game. We'll have a better idea of kind of what we're looking at for the season. Yeah. And then we'll look a little bit dive a little deeper into week 2 and that game SFA against Livingston. So, any last thoughts, guys, before we sign off this evening?
Vince, you want to go?
Let's play ball, man. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm ready. Listen, I've been locked away for almost 2 years now, man. COVID got me hiding. So
in the dungeon.
Dave
Campbell. In the dungeon.
Yeah.
In the dungeon.
No, I'm in the dungeon.
Yeah, you in the dungeon.
He in the dungeon.
Ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready. If you look behind me, I've got my state championship things framed here. I want some more of these. These are newspaper articles that I framed from the state championship 10 years. I want some more of this. Looking forward to these next several years. There's got some good talented young men coming up next year.
I see the Bulldog championship. I see a Cowboy banner. I don't see anything championship about that, but it's okay.
Over here it says our championship story. It's got them listed. I think there's 5
Here
of them.
we go. 1990. Yada yada.
Whoa! Wait! Did I mishear you? Did you say you were a Texas fan? What was your championship?
Oh man, here we go. You know what? Bill O'Brien took our championship from us. We were supposed to win it all, man. We were supposed to win it all.
If I'm talking football, I'm gonna take a jab at the Cowboys eventually. That's gonna be it. Shout out to everybody I know, because you know it's coming.
You're going to get some text messages.
I got the jokes lined up. Don't worry. It'll be just like the Seinfeld has a Superman reference. I'll make a Cowboy reference eventually.
At least we're all on the same page here, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we can talk Longhorn football then.
Yeah.
Oh, Hector.
Alabama, y'all got that smoke.
Hector is a Vince fan. I can tell.
Steve,
he said,
did I tell you I liked Hector? That's my guy. Me and Hector all year long. All year, all season, baby. I'm telling you, that's my guy.
Before I get off of here, I wanted to list some of our that we've got so far this season. We're still taking sponsors, so anybody out there that wants to sponsor our season, or if you want to go ahead and jump in and get set up for basketball, we'll do that as well. Corey and I will be doing a lot of basketball games here and starting in November, I guess. It's coming up here pretty soon. Our sponsors right now for football are IPS, Import Polio Solutions with Ms. Cheryl Higgins. Big Tex Home Investments. Karen Murphy with Century 21. Wooden Bean, locally owned coffee shop here in Chapel Hill. Midi Muse and Ebenezer Church. Brandy Messering with Property Shop. And our special is Terry Swazoo with the Alumni Association. So those two we've got that's sponsored and donated so far. We appreciate you so much. I've also got something in the works. I've also got something in the works with Hector. So Hector, don't forget to reach out. Get your little sponsorship set up. I appreciate you commenting and chatting with us tonight and keeping our show going up. Here goes. He said TCU. Oh,
no,
heck, cut it off.
Hector, you dropped a notch. Now,
no, I'm in Hector's corner. It could be worse. He could be a Bama fan. He could be a Bama fan.
You know what? It could have been worse. Yeah, because he could have said OU was something A&M or whatever. But I'm okay. I can handle TCU. I can deal with TCU.
We need to ask Hector what conference TCU is going to, because I think they're out of home right now. Going to the Big Six or whatever's going to be left of the Big 12. The real schools leave and go with SEC.
You know, they're all making that big conference. We're just going to call it the Conference Cinematic Universe.
The big cinematic universe. Anti-SEC. They're just going to all join the conference and try to compete against it. I don't know.
We'll call it the CES.
That's the only way you get a shot at the championship. You got to join the SEC. So, we going. we booking that.
Everybody that tuned in tonight, be sure to check us out next week.
Yeah.
We'll have our week 1 wrap up, and we'll talk about week 2. Hopefully, it'll be after a win. We'll see what happens. Again, Logan and I will do the call tomorrow night in Greenville, 6 o'clock on the Bulldogs Sports Network Live. So be sure to tune us. You two can catch us too. I'm sure y'all will be at the house. So we'll be on. I might even throw you some shout outs. So
I appreciate everybody. Might chime in on the show. I don't know.
Hey,
yeah.
I'll thank everybody for watching. We'll catch you next time right here on the Bulldogs Sports Network.